Okay, so before we get started, I'd like to just introduce myself. My name is Keith Hopkins, and I'm the CEO of StageXchange. I'm surrounded by a team of competent professionals. Our team is unique in the sense that our team didn't originate from the economic development world. Our team came together through backgrounds in finance, marketing, IT, artificial intelligence, private equity, and real estate. Our team developed StageXchange as a response to the pain that we've suffered in our own careers as we've tried to get deals done. Oftentimes, the effort to bring economic development into a specific region is not as simple as you'd expect. When you look at the actual, the formula of what brings economic development, and it seems pretty simple, right? Land, labor, capital equals economic development. And if you've got those elements, you can move the needle. But it's really not that simple. If you look at the impact of foreign direct investment here in the U.S., it's quite substantial. What a lot of people don't realize is the extent that foreign direct investment plays in the economies across the country. Also, people seem unaware of the number of countries that are actively participating in investing in our country. Right now, China grabs a lot of the headlines because they are indeed pumping a lot of investment into our country. But that's only part of the story. What I want to speak to is the investment, the foreign direct investment here in Texas, to start off with, just to kind of put things in context. You'll see that there's only over 500,000 jobs created in Texas, and you can see that they're in services well beyond just oil and gas. And you can see that where that money comes from is actually quite diverse. And if you look at the greater U.S., you'll see a similar story. The problems that investors are facing, and that's the perspective that my team and I come from, is that as we go from theory of we'd like to make an investment in the country to how do I make an investment in the country, that process is pretty painful, it's cumbersome, and it's very inefficient. And that starts with the fragmented ecosystem. If you're capital, if you put your investor hat on for a moment, and you're thinking about how you're going to invest in some foreign country, and you've decided that the Ukraine is a perfect place for you to invest, how do you find an opportunity there? Or how would a Ukrainian investor find one here? The same challenges each investor faces. A lack of regional marketplaces, non-standardized data, and antiquated technology all leads into this problem of searching to find opportunities. Because there's lots of data that is out there right now that speaks to the macroeconomic theory of the macroeconomics of a specific region, and it speaks to what those trends look like, and you look at what the major sectors are, et cetera. But the problem is that macro level data is only useful if you A, know where to grab it, and B, can use that in your decision-making process. And those things are both easier said than done. But if you're fortunate enough to get through that and actually find a deal, what you're faced with a whole nother set of problems. And that problems usually fall under the banner of information overload, where investors are overwhelmed with the amount of information that's provided. They're unable to quickly get to the core value proposition of an opportunity, and instead they're just given another brochure that they could use, which is not particularly useful. What our approach here at StageXchange is that we acknowledge the fact that the Economic Development Office is really the center of the ecosystem. And the Economic Development Office is in a position to influence and impact deal owners, the investors, both domestic and international, advisors, partners. The whole ecosystem is touched and influenced by the Economic Development Office. Their job currently is to facilitate new investment and create jobs. In order to do that, they need to get a concert of people to act together in a way that produces results and produces a compelling opportunity, and that's not easy to do. What Stage is trying to do is using data from the macro level and using data from the micro level, the regional data, and be able to put that together in a way that we can start to marry everything together in a single system of record. And that single system of record makes it easy for everybody in the ecosystem to use the platform to do whatever it is they have to do their job and to meet their objectives. But it gives them the chance, when interacting with other members, to share information, speed the due diligence process, identify opportunities, and communicate with a wide variety of audiences at the same time. The way that we do that is through flexible data capturing, and that means that the platform itself has to be able to be always up to date. If without good information, without current information, the value of any platform is marginalized. There's no better way to lose interest from an investor than having stale data. And what the platform allows you to do is to pull data in from any source, whether that's created by the user, whether that is an API that is integrated fully to the site, or it's a web scrape that's been done. It doesn't matter where the data comes from. We're able to aggregate that information into a usable format. And once that's done, once we've captured the information, regardless of its source, that's when we can deliver customizable search. And that search can be very, very powerful, allowing users to use whatever they need to identify opportunities, whether that's by geography, by its industry, opportunity, etc., and start to do head-to-head comparisons. And so when people make investment decisions, they don't do it in a vacuum. They often have an idea of where they want to start, whether that's in terms of geography or it's in terms of industry, etc., or it may be in terms of a few companies or real estate developments. But that's usually not where they end up. And so by having a platform that integrates these things together, it makes it easy for an investor to move from one opportunity to the next, to the next, to the next, until they find what makes sense for them. Here, I just want to show you some of the power of the platform and how easy it is for investors to be able to digest the information we're trying to share with them in a very user-friendly way. And as you can see here on the left, we can push all this information into other languages quite simply. In terms of macroeconomic data and how we capture and present this, we're grabbing information at the federal, state, and local level, and it allows us to do some pretty innovative things as we start to spotlight specific cities that are part of economic regions or clusters, and then we allow the users to start getting the ability to do side-by-side comparisons. Because when you look at how money flows into the country, you'll notice that that money comes in a very uneven way, mostly focused in the top 10 or 12 cities, and that leaves a lot of the rest of the flyover states, if you will, all slugging it out for that investment capital. And by having side-by-side comparisons, we can start to demystify what the rest of America looks like and what your city looks like in comparison to things that they already know. Moving on, you can see that there's a wide variety of users that can benefit from the platform. And here you can see how we can start to grab really interesting data about who's using the platform, whether that's looking at data coming from interacting with opportunities in your community, or we're looking at information we've pulled from a CRM, et cetera. So being able to tie all these pieces together makes the platform much more valuable. So that's how at StageXchange we believe we can accelerate economic development by having a data-driven approach that integrates a variety of different systems, processes, and people all under a single system of record. And what I'd like to do now is shift gears and just show you a little bit of the platform. This is the side of the platform designed for foreign direct investment and helping economic development offices be able to attract foreign direct investment. So this is where we want to start to aggregate information from what things are what's happening, let's say on the national level. Is here on this FDI tab, and you can see that. And then if you could get into city search here, which is again where we spotlight different cities and try to give them a voice to display kind of what's unique about their area of the country and their economy and their diverse mix of opportunities. And so that city search can be linked directly to city profiles and city marketplaces, and we can go through that in a second. So if we go back here to the top, you can see this is an example of a spotlight here in Austin, Texas. And you can see that there is just some general background information about what's happening here in Texas and in Austin rather. And you can start to see some really useful information and trying to give the users a quick highlight. But from here, they can go directly into the Austin marketplace, and they can see, what are the opportunities that exist here. And this is an opportunity for the region to be able to showcase, different deals, different opportunities that exist, whether that's in real estate or that's in a, technology company seeking partners, or there's an infrastructure project, et cetera, et cetera. So this is what all connects these pieces together. But let's say you don't know what city you want to invest in yet. Maybe you're not sure what the difference is between Akron and Austin, or Dallas and Austin. The top 10 cities in our country, they have an international brand, and the smaller cities struggle with overcoming that lack of awareness. And the city comparison really helps even the playing field for the smaller cities. So, in this example here, you can see that you're able to pick which city you want to compare. You can see them plotted on a map, and then you can start to see kind of how those cities look on a side-by-side basis. And you can see, a variety of different, metrics that would be interesting to different investors. And this is really, pretty powerful stuff as you look at giving people the tools to quickly assess where they want to shortlist, what cities, what economic offices, what clusters they really want to shortlist, because the story is quite different. Especially as we start to look at these second-tier markets that often have opportunities in them that are much better for investors in terms of risk and return, but yet they can't seem to attract that investor capital. So this is that opportunity here to do that. So I'd like to bring your attention here to EDO Spotlight. And so this is where we've married the macro level data into specific regional data. So here you can go ahead and you can just hyperlink in directly with the regional marketplace like we showed you, or if you want to go directly to the Austin Economic Development Office, you'll see. So this allows the cities to and the different people, the different participants in the ecosystem to continue to do whatever they're going to do, right? The StageXchange platform is designed to run in parallel with what cities and states and towns are doing today. We're not looking to disrupt them and force them to do business in a different manner. What we're simply doing is we're acting as a chassis that allows the different wheels that have already been created to bolt on to our platform to make search easier for the investors. And without making search easier, it's difficult to move the needle on investment. It's just that simple. So here are a couple examples of companies that can be, you can spotlight, and those companies can go, be whether that's a for-profit entity or that's a, like this company here, Allies, which is a social good here. They're working on trying to prevent human trafficking and some other social causes like that. Or maybe it's Energy Finance Partners or International Accelerator or et cetera, et cetera. So the whole point is that it doesn't matter what is in your community, what part of it you want to showcase. You can do that in a very simple way that makes it easy for you to be found. The next feature that I want to show you is just that these regional deals and these regional marketplaces can all be linked together. And that allows us to have kind of super regional marketplaces as well as national and global marketplaces. And so as time goes on, StageXchange will have a variety of private and public marketplaces where deals can be aggregated, where no matter what the deal is, source, you can use the same macro level data to get comfortable, but the deal itself, that offering, et cetera, can all be private if the deal owner chooses that to be the case. And again, you can see, similar, just like in Austin, you can have all these deals rolling up together. So, that explains how things look in terms of the macro level view of the platform and what faces the public, and how economic development offices can use this tool to put their best foot forward, if you will, helping us aggregate that information and make this easier. So what I'd like to show you is the other side of our platform, and this is information about where the key here is to make it easy for the different regions or areas to control their own data. So we'll be able to populate certain data on our own and port that in. But we made the platform flexible enough so that cities can actually modify their own data as things happen. You know, whether they want to add new news articles or whatever else is relevant. So the platform again has quite a few features and benefits that make it easy for the different users on the platform. For instance, for the investor side, when an investor logs in and they have access to different deals that they've been given to, they end up with a portfolio view, like you can see here, and you can see these are different opportunities, and you can see whether it's in due diligence, you know, whether it's a go, no go, etc. You know, this allows the investor to start to pick his favorites, to be able to identify which deals that they're interested in, and then move directly through the process to try to get to a closing table. So I hope this gives you a better understanding of what StageXchange is doing and how we work together to change the way search is done for investors as we attempt to move the needle forward with foreign direct investment. That concludes our presentation for today. If there are any questions, please share with me now.
Yeah, Keith, could you show us how to register our EDO? Because this is pretty interesting. I'd like to move forward.
Great, Kurt. Actually right here on the main page, it's just that simple. So if you go to our website here, www.stagexchange.com/EDO_search. I know that's a wordy link, but you can also navigate here through our main homepage. But if you once you're onto this landing page and you just scroll down, you can just roll down over to that section and click here to register your EDO. So it's just that simple.
Today, many cities, states, and countries struggle to attract foreign direct investment due to a variety of factors. At the same time, institutional investors seeking to deploy capital abroad face enormous obstacles of their own. A quick examination of global business environment reveals that there is no shortage of investment capital, investable deals, or relevant information. So what's the problem? The problem is there is no efficient way for investment capital to identify opportunities, assess risk, and quickly conduct due diligence. All too often, foreign investors waste time and money sorting through the seemingly endless array of non-standardized macroeconomic data, making it very difficult to compare risk-adjusted returns. Meanwhile, active deals are not aggregated in one place, rather they are spread across disparate organizations. StageXchange's linked regional marketplace makes it easy for investors to find what they are looking for: opportunities, research, and third-party validation. Our platform bridges the gap between the local private sector and the global investment community by acting as a single system of record for investors, deal owners, and economic development offices. StageXchange is able to accelerate the pace of foreign direct investment by giving investors what they want. However, what investors want most of all is updated, real-time information that can assist in the investment decision process. Investors are seeking business intelligence, rather than just another brochure. Learn more at StageXchange.com.